Hey everybody, welcome back to the Lonely Homestead. It's a little bit of the harvest today. That's an heirloom tomato. It's ripe and it cracked, so I had to grab it right away. But I can't remember which variety it is, but it's a new one I'm trying, so we'll see how it tastes and then go from there. Usually, the only yellow ones I usually grow are Placer Vassy. And this one, purple on top, yellow on the bottom. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat looking tomato. Anybody got any good recipes for eggplant? Let me know. So, lots been going on. Most of you know that Gator, he got bit by a rattlesnake and he didn't make it. So, he's not going to be on video anymore. And Sassy's pretty shy, so Skit's not though. She'll probably only come out in the evening times. Cucumbers are going bonkers. Well, I just watered them yesterday. Look at them sad looking things. It's only like 80 something degrees out, and they should have had plenty of water. They shouldn't be wilting like that. But about to harvest some butterhead lettuce. These are ready. Yeah, that's about good size. Should be nice and tender. Onions still aren't doing very good. And the spinach isn't doing very good. I'm getting all this yellowing. And I'm wondering if I should throw some blood meal down or something. Maybe help them out. I'm not sure why they're yellowing. But it might be a nitrogen deficiency. And of course, these are the crazy sections. I don't know what this plant is, but it's not that Cubano pepper that I thought it might be. A bunch of them have come up, but this is the Cubano pepper. So there's another one, and another one, and another one. And if it gets too cold, I'll take them up top to where the tomato tunnel is, because I can put plastic over that and keep it warm. I'm still fighting major amounts of bugs over here with aphids, but this cabbage I could probably harvest right now. Look at the size of that thing. Bam. So I got a few that I could harvest soon, but a few of them are really got beat up by the aphids, and I can't seem to get rid of all of them, even with soap. This is probably my best looking one right now. This one's gorgeous, and that's make a lot of sauerkraut. All these tomatoes started finally producing and getting tomatoes in there. So let me see, can you see it hiding in there? And then down there, they're just growing wild in here. There's a couple of big old tomatoes in there. So hopefully I got enough time in the season. Look at that. Nice to get these to ripen up. These are all heirlooms, so they're indeterminate, which means they ripen one at a time, not all at once. So it hopefully I got enough time to get them to ripen, but we'll see. And then I think over on this end there's some cherries. There's some cherry tomatoes in here. I just let them grow wild. There's some more bigger tomatoes, and I'm getting some weird problems like cat facing and blossom end rot. So definitely got to get more additives back in the soil. And these, I don't know if we talked about these, but these are loofahs. So that's a loofah. Be able to wash the skin with it once it's done and dried out. And it's just growing crazy over here. It's got its own little home going on. Basil's about had it. It's going to seed. You can see it browning out here. But the bees love it so much I didn't want to pull it out. And I still got some usable basil in there. Maybe make some more pesto. Still got eggplants coming on. Let's see. There's a little one there. There's a little one there. Uh-oh, looks like we got another big one to harvest. Oh, yeah. That's ready to harvest. Yep. Like I said, if anybody's got any good recipes, let me know. I think I might try eggplant parmesan real soon here. Lots of cherry tomatoes over here. So they're going. Hopefully they'll ripen too before it gets too cold. Tons of cherry tomatoes. And I could always make green salsa if they don't. You know, but I got tons of tomatillos going too for green salsa. But you can use green tomatoes as well. Just a slightly different flavor. Not bad at all. Cauliflower's doing okay. I'm fighting bugs on that too. But not bad. I've been spraying it for aphids, and it already had BT on it for worms. But I did find a worm the other day, so I killed him. But we'll see how that goes. Bok choy down here is not doing good. It does not like the heat down here. But I'll show you the bok choy. Look, that's gonna bolt. It's not even forming a head. This one might be edible. Yeah, see, that's kind of not bad, and same with that one. But this one's growing all funky weird. If we get over here, oh, and the Mexican palms are booming. That's really what they are. I'm gonna pot these up and sell them. So there'll be a little income for the homestead besides me building houses and stuff. Yeah, look, I got a bunch of them. And these are all new ones coming up too. So there's lots of them coming up. Swiss chard's not doing good out here. I've had some way better looking chards than that last season, but we'll see. I didn't know what lettuce this was or if it was a white chard. So I'm letting it go to seed. And you can see it's all ready to blow away. I might cover this whole head with a bag and then cut it off. But this one too, this was a romaine lettuce that now it's finally starting to get ready to go float away. But I want to save seed from this one too, because it was a big romaine head that was really nice. And I just, a day too late on harvesting it, it bolted. But as you can see, we're full of tomatillos. Tomatillos everywhere. Oh, that one's pretty big. They don't get real big. I wish I could find, these are said to be giant tomatillos, but I've never got them much bigger than a golf ball size. So that could be nutrient deficiency, but it might not be. It might just be the size of the tomatillo. And this is a huckleberry bush. These are huckleberries, but they're not like the kind you find in the Northwest. This huckleberry says, don't eat raw. It says to cook them. And I don't know why. But I got the seed from Baker Creek. And look, even though they're that pretty, if you pull on it, it doesn't want to come off. So I'm not even sure how ripe these things are or when you're supposed to pick them. I'm going to have to do some more research on those. Dill went to flower, of course. It still smells amazing. And maybe I'll let that seed up and just blow down out here and go wild. Broccoli's taking off. Look at how big the broccoli is here. Big broccoli growing. We got a bunch of them. I got this whole row pretty much is broccoli. And these are booming going through here, but I don't know why the ones up there aren't booming. I mean, they're getting water, but a bunch of them blew away, died and broke their stems and blew away. Might get some corn, but I doubt it. We'll see. And this row of okra is getting ready. It's going to start flowering soon. You can see here. And I've been fighting little bugs on this too, and I've never had them before. They look like little black aphids. This okra's about had it, and we're going to do something fun with that. I'll show you in a minute. But I wanted to show you this over here. I threw out cover crops. So this, that over there, and that over there is radishes. And in the cover crops, they put in Daikon radishes that really break up hard packed soil. So that's a lot of what they're used for. And I gave my buddy one to eat, and it was even too spicy for him. And I think he's got like Mexican blood. He was like, it's so hot. It's like wasabi radish or something. But I wanted to show you all this. See if we can get a good view of it here. Watch this. I'm gonna pull this one if I can. That is a Daikon radish, and it doesn't even sound woody right now, but if you need something to break up hard packed soil, that should help do it. Now normally you'd cut all the greens off and just leave that in the soil to break down, but I wanted to show you guys this one. This is probably the biggest one ever. It's huge. But my chicken won't even eat it. So I guess I could make horseradish. That'd probably be good. Yeah, maybe I'll save some of these and make horseradish with some of the smaller ones. But let me show you now what we're gonna do with the okra. I've been having fun with this, so I got a wood chipper, and it was seized up, and the guy wasn't sure why, but he gave it to me to try out and fix. And it was because they left it out in the winter and the whole bottom was clogged with rust. So the engine's not seized. You can see now I pull on it and it turns over. So I'm about to start this thing today. And then this is the blade system, and I took this all apart, and you can see I put new bolts in here because this was the bolts were completely rusted off, and this blade is what was locking it up and making it so it couldn't turn. But I ground that one down. It's not the best job. I could have done better. But then I sharpened that one, and there's blades under here too. And I sharpened these with a file. So after I get this running, I'll take that and I'll put it all back together. So I'm gonna feed the okra in there and just shred it out into the garden and just put it in the garden beds as organic matter and let it break down in the beds. And I might even start making compost piles with it, get cow manure from my friends and organic matter from me, and then put it in there. I don't know if y'all remember, but a little while ago in August, we got 2.5 inches of rain. And I had just fixed this bed up and got that gigantic rock out of it. I don't think I posted that video yet, but it was buried right in here. And when I was trying to fork this bed up, I hit it. But a lot of this is weeds. I think this is fillery. This is like really high protein for cattle and other animals. But I could be wrong. It could be that other weed. I have to double check. But as you can see, I just threw a bunch of seeds out. And there's broccolis coming up. And it looks like the rain washed most of the seeds to that side. But it doesn't matter. I'm trying to keep the beds covered as much as possible. It's supposed to help with garden life in the soil. But I put broccoli, cabbages. So this is broccoli. That's cabbages, I think. And then down on this end, I got turnips. And some of them shot up like crazy. But then right now, they're acting like they're not getting enough water. And I just watered them too. So you can see all those drying out over there. But still, either way, it's good for the soil because now I can just fork that back into the soil and let it rot in the soil. And that'll help with this soil I have up here that has like 0 nutrients in it. Yeah, I'm seeing it on the tomatoes. There's cap facing and blossom end rot. So now comes the real exciting part, the tomato tunnel. This is my favorite. I'd started growing heirloom tomatoes for my dad. He actually just loved vine ripened tomatoes. So I started, buying crap from the store. And then I started doing research and I discovered heirlooms. And now you'll see why, because they're so much bigger, better tasting. They're amazing. I mean, we got some monsters growing, but I think these are black beauties here, so they'll get mostly black. And oh, look at these monsters. I think this might be a German pink. Same with that. And then here's a Placer Vassie. So this is a Placer Vassie. It's a damn good tasting tomato. But you can see, like, look, this one just decided to not even form. It just got like blossom end rot and died off. But we still got some good ones. That's one thing about heirloom tomatoes. They'll do ugly things like this and look ugly. But if you call that looking ugly, I don't know what kind of tomatoes you like. That one's ripe. That one's ready to harvest right there. And so are these over here. Oh, that one's splitting too. I don't know why they're splitting because I'm pretty consistent with my watering. So I gotta figure that one out. But I think all those are ripe. And look at, they go all the way up. And then some of these started not getting more sets. But this one's got like 3 or 4 sets on it. And then if we get in the tunnel, here's better bok choy. See the bok choy coming out? A bunch of these are ready to harvest. See that nice bok choy? That's good. I think I did like I wrapped salmon in some of these leaves once and grilled it. It was really good. And here's some of my cilantros coming up. So I'll be able to make green. Oh, there's a new cilantro. It's probably too shaded. Need some sun. But there's another cilantro. And then we got peppers. I think that's a bell, that's a bell, that's a bell. And this might be a jalapeno. So, yeah, look at that. It's a jalapeno without the heat. A jalapeno. You can get them at Baker Creek. So they're actually pretty good. They're just like a snack. You can just grab it and munch. Got lots more tomatoes. Lots more. Hopefully they'll start ripening soon. Look at the size of that monster. Probably a 1-pounder there. These are Cherokee purples on this side. One of my favorite tasting tomatoes. So the good thing is I got one that's starting to ripen. It's splitting a little, but people, you can cut that off and just eat that tomato. It's gonna taste good. And we got lots of tomatoes on the other side too. Some new varieties. I'm trying different ones. These might be Chadwick cherries, but I don't think so. They're too big. Next year I'll keep better track of where things end up. This year I was in a major hurry. Got tomatoes all up in here. Yeah, see? Look at that. That's not pretty, but I bet you it'll still taste good once you carve that skin part off. And I think this is Black Beauty too, so it's gonna go mostly blackish purple looking like that. And not sure what this is, but it's still a good looking tomato. It might be Black Beauty. They're still pretty black on top. We got some monsters over here too. That's probably gonna be a 1-pounder. That is too. We'll see. Oh, and then here's some more ripe ones. I have to pull those off and munch those down. Don't worry, people. Pretty soon I'll be getting some normal looking red tomatoes. I'm just kidding. No, I think the only ones I grew that look kind of like normal red tomatoes are German pinks, which get pretty huge, and mortgage lifters, which can get pretty huge too. So, pretty bok choy. That one's ready to harvest. I gotta start harvesting. And here's a couple of monsters right here. Man, they should be turning red soon. Well, that's it for the tomato tunnel. The bee garden's still booming. Got a few more new flowers that came up. The purple ones have gone away, but I got these zinnias coming in. These are pretty cool flowers. And there's another purple one that came up. I'm not sure what this one is. I haven't seen it bloom yet. And that looks like a marigold or some type of marigold. But the rest of this is weeds. After that rain, more flowers came up, but look, more weeds came up and grass. Might have to hire me a weed whacker. And the door blew off the shed in a windstorm. Oh, looks like I got a zucchini I didn't harvest soon enough. Yeah. That's a monster. Oops. But I got a couple of nice little ones coming on right there. And I should have harvested this watermelon by now. It's definitely ready. See if you can see this. You see how dried out the stem is? That's when they say it's ready, when this stem is completely, well, not stem, this is like a tendril. So the tendril right behind the watermelon, that's completely dry. That watermelon is ready to harvest. So that's awesome. Cantaloupes coming in. Got like 3 or 4 of those growing. Hopefully it stays warm for a little while longer. It's supposed to be 80s in the day, but we've been dropping down to 50s, low 50s some nights. So yeah, hopefully it stays warm enough for things to keep going. I mean, that's about it for a garden update. Things are booming, taking off. Should be yummy. And hopefully I'll be able to get this cleaned up soon. And then all these trees are going to be going in an orchard eventually, which is going to be this little plot right here. My friend said I can use it because that's off the 1 acre here. But you see how the driveway goes there, and over by my truck there's another driveway that goes that way, and this is like a triangle to the main road. And all that, I'm going to strip it out, get the rocks out of it, and turn it into an orchard. Obviously we'll have olives and giant mulberries and anything else I can get my hands on. But especially, I don't know, my Granny Smith apple is not looking good. It's like trying to die. So I'll probably have to get my hands on some more apple trees. If anybody knows where to get good Granny Smith apples. See, that one already died. And that one's looking like it's trying to die. And then this is where little Gator's buried. And that apple tree I grew from seed last season. So hopefully that one stays alive. And we get at least one good apple tree up here. There's some nearby too for pollination, but look at this door I scored. A buddy of mine I've been helping out, he got this off an estate job and he didn't want it for anything. So he gave it to me, and this is real leaded glass. I mean, there's a couple little knick-knack problems, but nothing major. I mean, it's a beautiful old door. It's solid wood. And when I eventually build the house here, when I can make enough money, the house is going back on the old pad, and I'll use that as the front door. I don't know if all of you know, but if you can see the retaining wall here, this is the old original shower. That's where the old toilet went. And this was a house pad. This house burnt down. I don't know if I told everybody, but if you're new, now you know. So you can see this is a house pad, and it was a decent size. It was just a little cabin, 1 bedroom. And then over here, this was the front porch right here. And all this old rock work was in, you know, for a long time. And this was a creek, a little creek, and sometimes it flows, but it flows through here. And then I'm digging this pond out. And that's going to be a big pond. And then it goes past this willow tree and then down to a bigger pond over there, which I still got to dig out. I got plans for all that, but this is where I live right now. Got an extra stove. That's the camp stove. I used to have a nice kitchen set up right here, and wind blew it over. But there's another mulberry tree, and that's a compost pile I've been building. And that's Broody Chicken. She's the only one that has given me babies so far, and they both ended up being roosters, and now she doesn't want to lay on her eggs, so might have to put her back with the rest of the flock. And oh, we got the Tiny Tims going here, but they're not doing so great right now. Some of them are putting off way tiny tomatoes. But they're good tasting tomato. And you see, that's about the normal size right there. Bunching onions. I got some of those that are ready to harvest. Right here, that's good enough, ready to harvest. And then that's asparagus growing that I planted from seed. I wish there was a lot more of it, but I'll have to plant more or buy crowns. So that's it for the Lonely Homestead update. This is the high desert, people. It's beautiful, but it'll make you work hard to grow food. So there you go. Adios. God bless.